Water and Sanitation and Tata Trust, where he has worked for the flagship program of the Government of India, Swachh Bharat Mission, Gramin, as Jilla Swachh Bharat Prerak in Bellary district of Karnataka, and as the state coordinator of Jharkhand. Before that, he has worked with Tesco India Private Limited in Bangalore as Officer General Merchandiser. His contribution to Swachh Bharat Mission was published in the Journal of Tata Water Mission. He has also represented India in the South Asian Economic Student Meet in London. His expertise lies in the field of government relations and policy program implementation. Welcome you, sir. The screen is all yours.
Thank you, Kriti. Thank you for the wonderful welcome. So, namaste to one present here. I feel really fortunate on having received this opportunity to speak my mind on this holy day when the great son of Bharat was born 150 years ago in the soil of Bengal. As a Bharati and a Bengali, it is a matter of immense pride for me. Moreover, getting this opportunity to speak in the platform of Youth for Seva makes this occasion even more special, as the founders of this organization has been striving hard for years to fulfill the dream Swamiji had for the youth of New India. I start my speech today by conveying my pranam to Swamiji, who is of the nature of existence, knowledge, bliss, who is established in the self and who is the remover of sorrows. Om Namo Sri Jatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Sachit Sukha Sarupiya Swamine Tapahritaye. My greetings to the esteemed panelist, Shobhitra, whom I always look up to for various guidance, Sumanji, Pramodji, and Madhushudanji. My greetings and pranam to Venkatesh sir, my mentor and guide Vinay sir, and last but not the least, my dear brothers and sisters in the virtual gathering. So my friends, before I talk about the philosophy of the word Seva, if I take you a couple of centuries back and use the word Seva, it would not have resonated the same kind of feeling in your mind as you might have been feeling today. Often in North Bengal, you might heard that Aja Mera Seva Kar. Is that the notion of Seva was traditionally been associated with the normally menial, demeaning, or polluting act of service. But today, the word Seva resonates a feeling of social transformation. It stresses the idea of service to mankind and the world. So Swamiji's philosophy of Seva lies in the transformation of thought. From Seva at that point of time to the Seva, which is a selfless service we are talking in this August gathering. So if you have ever seen a lotus leaf in a pond full of dirty water, I'm sure many of you have visited countrysides, villages. You might notice that when this same dirty water in the pond falls in the lotus leaf, it sparkles like a diamond. And when Swamiji connected the understanding of Seva as part and parcel of a path of God realization with ancient Indic sources such as the Bhagavad Gita, the other dharmic granthas, the word Seva started sparkling like a diamond, like the drop of the pond water. So you can see this connects that the base of the entire meaning of Seva changed because of this kind of connection. Yeah, I think if others can just unmute. Yeah.
Sourav ji, you are muted.
Okay. Did I just got muted or?
Just now, ji, just now.
Okay. So what I was saying that So Swamiji had connected the God realization with ancient Indic sources such as the Bhagavad Gita, the Dharma Shastra, the Buddhism, and the Jainism, all of which seek in various ways to reconcile the currents of renunciation and worldly enhancement present in Indic thoughts. The word Seva started sparkling like a diamond, like that drop of pond water. So now if we consider our present generation in the third decade of the 21st century, our generation is much more driven by the market force than it is driven by our conscience. We want to earn before we could learn. So even you see, we are sitting idle in the house during our summer breaks, winter breaks. Most of us would only like to take an internship, which is a very rigorous one, if and only it is made mandated by our university or college. Or some of us would see, is it a stipend internship or not? So in this way, we make choices. From corporate social responsibility, we are now moving to CSV, that is corporate share value. What it is, it creates economic value by creating social value. So economy is at the core of each and everything. Therefore, Seva is again taking a U-turn for many young minds, if not all, from where it had originated. And for this, I don't always blame the youth for this kind of act, because nobody is born selfish. It's the external environment which shapes an individual. You will always find at least one child in every class, which our previous speakers was also talking about, in schools and colleges, who think differently about life, who thinks differently about society. But through at that stage, the novel thoughts are scattered like a jigsaw puzzle, and they have to hunt from one place to another. They have to look for that guide, that mentor, that institution to join those blocks. And here comes the responsibility of gurus, parents, and society to encourage these noble ideas and help them connect with larger ideas through the motivation them to achieve their purpose of life. But unfortunately, their situation is like the baby tortoise you have seen. So you see, when a tortoise lays eggs, it lays several eggs, and several tortoise hatches out from the eggs. But it is only few who could succeed to overcome all barriers and hardship and are successful to the mighty ocean. So in this context, organization like Youth for Seva plays a huge role in shaping the Seva Bhav in the mind and spirit of the young people. Seva is a philosophy of life which needs to be imbibed by an individual and can't be learned. An individual can only imbibe such philosophy in life when they're exposed to the grassroots of the society, which organizations of Youth for Seva are trying to do for years. And only then, my young friends, one can do a selfless service for the society when you are in the position to connect to the people, to the society at large. When these very individuals climb the ladder of success and becomes politicians, bureaucrats, CEOs of multinational companies, they'll always be able to discharge their service to the society, to their clients selflessly, because their social orientation will help them to keep their feet in the ground. But in the same time, I can proudly say that present is not so gloomy. The youth of today, the lions of Swami Vivekananda, is making us proud again and again. Standing today, I can very well connect to the act of selfless act of service showcased by Vivekananda and his young sannyasis during the time of plague outbreak 123 years ago in Bengal. And today, in the same way, how our corona warriors like doctors, nurses, health workers, young volunteers, and so many from Bangalore, our Porikarmikas served countrymen the times of present COVID pandemic, risking their own life. Such act of selfless seva can only be achieved when the philosophy, the thought behind such seva still exists within ourselves in some way or the other. And you'll be also amazed to learn how both situations can be connected. A situation 123 years ago when Calcutta was suffering from the uh, pandemic of plague, and today when we are suffering from the pandemic of corona. At that point of time, Swamiji emphasized on not panicking, maintaining personal hygiene, and boosting immunity to keep the plague at bay. Almost the same practice emphasized by public health experts to battle COVID-19. So Swamiji's advice was about healthy eating, was a key point in his advice. He pointed out that weak health makes no one makes more vulnerable to disease. He urged people to live pure and clean lives. Swamiji advised them to keep houses and adjoining premises clean along with things of their daily use. Always keep the house and premises, the rooms, the clothes, the bed, the drains, etc. clean, he said. So today also we are emphasizing on the same things, and all these messages are well embodied within the policies of our government too. And he also tried to dispel several rumors regarding plague at that time, such as the colonial British government will vaccinate everyone. It's very funny and strange that today also we are suffering the same kind of a situation. So when you participate in such kind of causes, you not only prove again and again the relevance of Swamiji, but makes the world realize that humanity has not died. But in today's time, I think youth are in another dilemma when the social media is in place. So you often see when we do some social work, we do something in the society, we often post in the social media. And many people might tell you, look, this guy is just doing to publicize themselves. But there is a difference in doing an act for publicity and getting the act on the public media. Because by doing the second one, you also pass on the motivation to a lot of people who are still thinking whether to step out from their house and to dirty their hand and serve the people or not. So when your friends are connected with you, if not in person, but also through social media, they also, the thinking process starts in their mind, and you show the light, or you become the lighthouse of change for creating the Seva vow in those people. So friends, taking reference and taking the messaging of Swamiji 123 years back, the way we can discharge our Seva for the people of this nation makes us think to deliver Seva in a new dimension. Now, not only we can do Seva by feeding poor, but today technology has emerged to be a new means to serve people, like reaching out to people, especially the elderly one, for counseling. There are so much, urban loneliness has become such a huge issue. If you don't have time, if distance don't permit you, you can always get in touch through technology and give them some mental comfort. You can always do a career counseling to the youth who are lost in this world. So the notion of Seva is also transforming with time. So the manifestation of Swamiji's vision can also be seen in our present government's initiatives, like Make in India, Digital India, Skill India, Swachh Bharat Mission, etc. And as a result, the world has started to acknowledge India's arrival as an economic, intellectual, cultural, and spiritual power. Youth of New India have immense opportunity to learn and play a decisive role in nation building, making huge impact in areas of health, education, livelihood. But my only advice while doing so, one must not lose sight of Swamiji's calling of manifesting dignity, love, and compassion. Therefore, it is important, what I feel, to build national pride and ownership in the youth through a program of education on social values, including respect for diversity, importance of harmony. And I am also privileged to get a group of people to work on this dimension through a small initiative named Youth for Good Governance, where we're trying to involve more and more youth in this process of filling the gap between citizens and government. And, and we're trying to encourage to participate in the service of government, community service, and developmental activities. The youth of India must have a strong sense of moral responsibility towards their fellow citizens, especially those that are less fortunate than themselves. And that is, I think, main way of discharging your seva and meeting the philosophical essence of Swamiji with the notion of selfless service to the society. Because Swamiji always believed in leveling up, and youth of this country must be encouraged to fulfill their duties as citizen and thus create an environment which all citizens enjoy the rights generated in our constitution. So my friends, I would like to conclude my speech saying that this is a day of great inspiration for every Indian youth. It is a day for taking new resolution. On this day, India had received such a zealous entity in the form of Vivekanand that is still energizing our country, constantly inspiring us and showing us way forward. Thank you so much. Namaste. I would happy to take any questions.
There's one question from my side, sir.
Yes.
How do you encourage or motivate the youth to follow in Swami's philosophy on Seva? Like, what would you like to say to the youth of our country?
Thank you, Kirti. So personally, what I believe, you cannot encourage anyone by merely talking to them. I think you have to be an example for others to follow you. So until and unless people see that action in you, they will never take that suggestion from you. So for me, I am also in the learning stage. So I like to lead by example, and then people learn from my existence, and then maybe we can tell them how Swamiji wanted to connect them to greater dots.
Thank you, sir. I would like to thank the speaker, Sri Sourav Mukherjee, for really inspiring us. I sincerely hope that everyone present here is enriched with knowledge. Thank you once again for spending a very valuable time from your busy schedule, sir. Thank you so much. I would like to hand over it to Shakti.
Thank you so much.
Okay. The great secret of true success, of true happiness is this: the man and woman who ask for no return, the perfectly unselfish person is the most successful. Swami Vivekananda. Today we have Madhusudan sir as our speaker. He is a mechanical engineer who is working with an organization called Youth for Seva as a project coordinator in Dharwad district. He has been active in social service since his college time for organizations like Utishta, Bharata, Youth for Seva, and Rashtra Shakti Kendra, and various organizations. Madhusudan sir has traveled across Karnataka giving inspiring talks about education and freedom fighters, shoulders, and also spreading awareness of environment by plantation drive and seed balls. He had also given the training to teachers and volunteers of different organizations on effective storytelling, conducting games and story activities to the students. Was working as an executive coordinator with an initiative called Viveka Vikasa Disha Bharat organization from 2016 to 2019 as personality development trainer, conducting value and life skill workshops. I, Shagun Soni, would like to invite Madhusudan sir to address the audience. Over to you, sir.
तापकाय च धर्मस्य